Hey everyone, welcome to week 4 of fantasy football. I feel like this is such a weird year. With the amount of injuries that are going on, I know I'll talk later, my team's been decimated. Chris Spring has mentioned how his team has been plagued by injuries, and I'm sure almost every single one of us have at least lost one player. Maybe not for the season, but just for multiple weeks, or they're playing injured. Another thing, Carson Wentz, I mean, come on. Most of the time Browns don't draft quarterbacks. They don't become that good. So it's really weird that all of a sudden the Browns choose not to draft one and he becomes great. And I think most of you out there that are Steelers fans see that he's not great yet, but he's pretty solid, which leads me to like, what the heck happened? The Steelers going against the Eagles. Why are the Eagles undefeated? Why did they just destroy this supposedly unstoppable Steeler offense? I was pretty surprised when I saw the score of that game. And I can see why the Minnesota traded a first-round pick for a crappy quarterback in Sam Bradford. He is not that good. I can see why they did that, because they're trying to do what Denver did last year. They recognize they have a really good defense. They just need to be okay on offense, and that's what they're doing right now. So I now maybe understand that trade, but it's still weird to say that the Vikings are also a team that is rolling, especially defensively. Welcome back to Marco Murray. We've missed you for a while. It's kind of weird to see you back at the top. And I don't understand Atlanta. They're like the most confusing team on the planet. They should be really good, and they're not. Matt Ryan's really great for a while, and then he stinks. And last year, like, Freeman takes over as running back, destroys the league by scoring like a bazillion touchdowns all the time, and now he can't score a touchdown. Every time he gets close, they hand the ball off to Coleman, who's the guy he took the job from last year. So confusing. And the top two wide receivers, that's also confusing and weird. That is Marvin Jones and Mike Evans. Maybe you could have saw Mike Evans coming because he's got the talent, and now Winston is a little bit more experienced. But Marvin Jones, all of a sudden, in Detroit being Calvin Johnson, yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird year. Let's get to our stud from last week. Our stud from last week is Heiser. You beat the undefeated Nick, and Nick's been getting a lot of love in our league for being consistent and awesome. And Heiser, you shut him down. Good job. Dud would be me. Basically what happened was on draft night, I skipped the first 5 rounds because every single player I drafted in the first 5 rounds is either injured for the year, injured for a while, or trying to play while injured, and they stink. So I am like a high school team right now. I am the dud, and I don't know when I'm going to win. Speaking of that, let's get to the predictions. Me versus Ben Baker. Ben Baker, I am picking you. Please. I think it is crazy to think that I would win. Maybe luck has turned my way a little bit because I'm not facing Aaron Rodgers. But as I look at your team, I still think you should win. But I'd be a little bit nervous because it's hard for me to find out why. But I guess this is it. I think Stafford will score more than Dalton did on Thursday. So Ben, you win, but I'd be nervous. John versus Ben Black. I have Ben winning, which ruins the debut of Le'Veon Bell. But I got Johnson and Carr. I think are going to have really good games. And this Kansas City defense is pretty unstoppable. And I think that might ruin some of Bell's day as well. Jim versus Nick. I have Jim winning. Sorry, Nick, that's 2 weeks in a row you could lose. You're welcome, Jim. I'm just going to say that the reason you played Evans last week is because of me. I'll take that credit. But this is a weird running back game. I don't really know. These are 4 people who could score a bazillion points or could all flatline. I don't know what's going on there, but in that, I give the edge to Jim. I think that'll make up the difference. So, Jim, you will win. I have Andy versus Drew. Andy, I think your team is rolling right now, and I think you're going to keep rolling behind DeMarco Murray. Green already had a big game, and Drew, you're not going to get 30 from the rest of your wide receivers combined. Andy, you roll on. Heiser versus Aaron. Aaron wins. This is why. Aaron, from top to bottom, I think he has the most complete team. Running backs, quarterbacks, wide receiver, good balance every week of points between them. So I think he will win. And then Chris versus Tyler. Tyler, you need to change your team name. You are not having a Browns season. I look at your team, you have talent. I look at the Browns, they do not. So you can't be having a Browns year. You will win this week, though. I think you're going to pull out of the basement. And if not, you should panic because you have a ton of talent on your team. And if they suck for 4 weeks in a row, that just means they're going to suck for the year. So this is a do or die week for you. I think you're going to do it. So Tyler wins. That's it for this week. Enjoy it. All of you that are Browns fans, which is few, go Terrell Pryor. At least he's exciting to watch. And Josh Gordon, who the heck knows what's wrong with that guy? So Tyler, release him. Everybody forget about him. He's done. And go Tribe.